Hi there, I'm Swim Smooth coach Adam Young. Today we're going to show you some footage of a swimmer called Hannah who swims with us in the Swim Smooth squads in Perth. Hannah's not an elite swimmer, but there are a lot of good elements in her stroke to take a look at. In fact, one of the interesting things about her stroke is that she has quite short arms and small hands, as many women do. If you've been reading our Swim Smooth blog, you'll understand about ape index. Hannah's is -2, which means her arms are about 2 inches shorter than her height. If you have relatively short arms yourself, then trying to emulate the very long stroke of an Olympic champion is unlikely to work for you. So we have some great new footage here from our new high-def filming rig in Perth. One of the first things we can see about Hannah's stroke is how much rhythm it has. Since Hannah has short arms, she can only go so far on every stroke, and this higher stroke rate style is really suiting her. We can see that she's not fighting the water at all, she's stroking with a nice rhythm and working with the water, not against it. Getting a good sense of rhythm is very important for any swimmer. If you've seen our new Swim Tights website at swimtights.com and discovered you're a Bambino, then this is a very good style for you to try and emulate. In fact, Hannah started out life as a Bambino before we developed her stroke. Bambinos have very little rhythm and their arms tend to slip through the water with very poor feel. Hannah's developed both of these aspects of her stroke very nicely. Let's pause Hannah here while she's taking a breath. Many Bambinos struggle at this point of the stroke because their lead arm drops down in the water whilst they breathe. This gives you virtually no support and breathing becomes a real struggle as your head sinks beneath the surface without any support out front. See how Hannah is keeping a good stretch forwards in this position and maintaining nice support on the water with that lead hand. Okay, let's see how Hannah catches onto the water and presses it backwards. This is a really nice technique here. You can see how she never pushes downwards on the water, she angles her hand and arm to push the water backwards. This sounds easy, but beginner and intermediate swimmers rarely do this very well. While we have Hannah in slow motion here, let's have a good look at her exhalation technique. She's blowing a strong constant stream of bubbles into the water. This keeps her relaxed and removes excess buoyancy from the chest, which keeps her legs up nice and high. We can see Hannah is a very efficient swimmer. Not only does she have low drag, but she also has good propulsive efficiency. By that I mean that the work she is doing is propelling her nicely forwards. It's not wasted effort. Right then, changing to the front view now. We can see occasionally that her core flexes and she bends in the middle when she goes to breathe. This is certainly something we need to tighten up on in the future. But again, from this angle, we can see a nice catch and arm stroke under the water. Let's slow this down and freeze it again. This is an excellent position to try and hit in your stroke. See how her elbow is bent and how her hand and forearm are pressing the water back behind her. In this position, most swimmers would have their arm locked out straight in front of them, and if you think about it, this would mean you've got to press down on the water. You can't start pressing it backwards. Also, see how Hannah's fingers are lightly held together too, which is excellent technique. Moving on a stroke now, let's have a look on the other side and see the same thing. Nice high elbow, forearm and hands pressing the water backwards. Very nice indeed. Switching to the overhead view again then, this is a really interesting angle to view a swimmer. It shows so much about their alignment, there really is nowhere to hide from this angle. Even elite swimmers can look a little bit rough around the edges from this angle. We can see how Hannah has pretty good alignment in the water. There's no tendency to cross over the centre line, which would ruin the catch we were looking at earlier. Now, we're not saying this is a perfect stroke. There are certainly some things here to continue to work on. We could certainly improve her core control and tune up her kick timing a little so that it's driving her body rotation more effectively, which would give the stroke more power. But Hannah's come a very long way from where she started, and earlier this year she swam the mighty 21 Kilometre channel swim crossing between Perth and Rottnest Island. A very great achievement indeed. Looking at this from the point of view of our swim tight system, Hannah's very much gone from the Bambino type at around 2 minutes per 100 towards a refined swinger style, now swimming between 135 and 140 per 100, which I'm sure you'll agree is a very nice increase in swimming speed. I hope you found Hannah's stroke interesting. If you visit swimtypes.com, you can learn all about our exciting new swim type system. It lets you understand your individuality as a swimmer. If you're a Bambino who would like to swim like Hannah, then we really suggest you purchase the Bambino training guide. It has all the drills, methods and visualizations you need to develop your swimming like this. If you're another swim type, don't worry, we have a straightforward but focused guide available for every swim type.